Good morning, Facebook. This is Dana and Jim, episode 5 of
Something like that.
Keeping It Real Estate. Today's topic is curb appeal. So, and Dana missed last week. He promises he'll never do that again. So,
Sorry about that, folks.
Yep. I wanted to let you know too, stay tuned. We will have a special announcement later in the week. Something Dana and I are super excited about. Actually, the whole crew is really excited about. But I'll give you a little teaser. Just get your sunblock. So anyway, but that'll be probably Friday. You'll hear from us there. And so today's topic, curb appeal, and we touch on it a lot. But we wanted to talk a little more in detail, and then also I'm throwing a little curveball at Kayla. But if you watch the Facebook, Kayla, if you see any questions at the end, if people have any Q&A about the market and what we're seeing out there, we will certainly put our 2 cents worth in on that. So Dana, what you got on curb appeal? What do you think?
Curb appeal, I mean, that's one of the most important things about a house. I mean, the inside is important as well, but that outside, I think we touched on it a couple of weeks ago about the positive endorphins that start to flow in your brain when you pull up to a house and you're starting to size up the house. Do we like it? You're looking at the neighbor's house. You're looking at how well your house is put together, the colors, the overall condition. So, curb appeal is a huge, huge, huge thing. If you have shutters on a house and they're dull and faded from the sun, paint them up. That's a good thing to do. The screens in the windows, we talked about cleaning the windows. I mean, there's a lot of different stuff that you can do with the front of the house to get people in the right frame of mind before they even enter your house to see what you've done in the kitchen and the bathrooms. So,
Dana,
flowers,
can't you tell just when you pull up to a house whether it's been flipped or not?
No, I don't. I mean, I guess I don't know.
I usually can with the crisp, they got the bright white windows. And
yeah, I mean, they usually
the freshly painted doors, all the stuff, all the trims painted.
You would think so, Jim, but I'm just going to say, I went to a house yesterday in the snow for a client in DC, and the house is in Annapolis and it's been flipped, but pulling up to it, you'd never know it's been flipped because in this particular house, they didn't really dress up the outside. They didn't change the windows. There was a lot of things that they didn't do in this particular flip. That was a little bit disappointing, but overall it's still, decent house, still nice.
FYI, people, if you didn't know this already, and this is a very good thing for you as a client, Dana has impossibly high standards for everything and everybody, including himself. So, and he looks damn good in that suit, by the way. Just want to say that. But a properly flipped house, you can definitely tell when you pull up, and it's emotional. Like I pull up and I go, okay, they're going to like this. Right. So what would you say, like, if you had one, like, what's your one bugaboo about curb appeal?
Mine?
Yeah.
Sharpness, I think. Like, I think it irks me when they do the windows, but then the mulch is a wreck and the bushes are a wreck or, that kind of stuff. I just feel like if you're going to go all the way. So, like you talked about the windows and the wrapping, the fascia board on the front, new gutters make a huge, huge impact. And new gutters aren't that expensive, but they're so bright white and they really put off, they really make the house stand out. So, yeah, I mean, mulches, flowers, little shrubbery, even if it's just little, those kind of things, just people love flowers. They like, especially in the wintertime, if you can put some flowers, blooming flowers that grow in the wintertime, that makes
pansies are the winter flower.
Yeah. And they make a huge difference because seeing that little bit of color there when everything else is gray and kind of dead looking really makes a huge difference.
And don't sell short the smell too. Like, a good, like a little pine or something, or, the smell that you get from a flower when you're standing at the door. And, personally, my bugaboo, and I've said it 100 times, but I'll say it again, have that front door painted, looking sharp, have a nice new door handle if you don't, or polish it up, but just make an impact, and it will go miles for when you get in the house.
Yeah.
So, and the other thing too is, don't, if you have the front looking great, don't completely skimp on the back, because then it sort of, it shows, and it's very transparent that you did a half-assed job to get the house on the market, and you didn't really, that's not how you are, and that's not how you live.
Yeah.
So, and then of course, you got to do a little bit of stuff on the inside, but just wanted to touch a little bit on what's going on in the market as usual. But even in the snow and crazy weather, I had a buyer this weekend that we saw the house. It went on the market Saturday. We saw it Saturday, and in the snow in an open house yesterday, the agent told me they had like 14 groups come through in the middle of a snowstorm.
Yeah.
When nobody was moving. So that shows you something. And I'll toot my own horn and my client's horn. Got their offer accepted, beat out 7 other offers. House was listed for $525 and it went to $560 and change. So crazy out there. I know Dana, he worked hard this weekend, had a busy weekend too. So, inventory, it's a common theme. But if you're one of those people who doesn't want to do anything, it's a really, really good time to put your house on the market because there's no inventory and people are taking things that they might not otherwise take. If you're one of those people who wants absolutely top dollar, a few bucks spent will yield you a huge return right now. So, because people in any market, they want the best. It's a visceral thing, and most people lack the vision to say, you know what, these people spent $5,000 and now they want $20,000 more. If you're the seller, and again, this is definitely 1,000%. Listen to me. If I don't listen to anything else I say, listen to this. Talk to us before you do anything because you will spend the $5,000 in the wrong place.
Yep, 100%. 100%. Yep.
So, what's your comments on the market these days, Dana? What are you seeing?
I'm seeing the same sort of stuff, man. It's highly, highly, highly competitive. I also took people around on Saturday. I had 4 different clients on Saturday showing property too. One decided to write. I'm sorry, that was on Friday that they wanted to write. And the house was listed at $479. We went in at $525, and we still got beat. And we went in as is.
Crazy.
It's conventional financing. We gave them a long rent back, five-month rent back, and we still got beat out. So it's just, it's kind of bizarre. And, the hard part is that my client was completely, she didn't know which way to go. And so she asked me, how much should we go in? And it's hard to tell your client, hey, you got to come in $50,000 above list price. And although there may not be comps that support that, what do you tell them, right? Like you got it, you're going to have to do it. Whatever your best foot forward is, whatever you're most comfortable with, do that. And we did that and we still lost. So, I guess it just kind of proves the point is how competitive it really is out there. So.
Okay. Last thing, I want to go a little bit off topic, but if everybody, I'm sure you've watched the news in the last couple of days and you've seen all the stuff with the GameStop and the short squeeze that's happening in the stock market. And what it really comes down to is a kind of a battle between, Wall Street and the little guy. And there's an analogy to real estate that I just felt like I wanted to share. For years, Dana and I are dinosaurs. We've been doing this for almost 20 years. So in the beginning, we were the complete gatekeepers. And so you would call us and Dana would say, hey, Jim, I want to buy a house for $500,000. And I go, okay, Dana, here's the 4 houses that are $500,000. Pick one. And you'd be blissfully ignorant and happy to get one of them. And that would be that. And then somewhere probably, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, the information got converted in a good way so that the public has access to as much information as we did. And it really made us have to reevaluate our value proposition as agents because, we no longer were the gatekeepers of information. And now, it's funny, we used to have people get in our car all the time to show houses. They never get in our car now because they used to come to the office. We'd look through the computer, we'd pick some houses. I'd send you off to lunch and then you'd pile in my car and we'd go look at houses. And now that doesn't happen anymore. Now the buyer says, here's the 4 houses I want to see. And my big value add is to pick which one we start at. So, but we had to reevaluate our value proposition and become sort of fountains of information in other ways and resource. And obviously knowing how to negotiate a transaction is always important, but in this market, it's absolutely crucial. So, we've gotten a lot better at those types of things and we've had to, and it's a constant thing. We are always looking at how we can serve our clients better and how we can make their experience better and also be more efficient and effective in the market. And so I see in Wall Street, I think why they got in such a tizzy is because there's been this curtain around, you know, the mystery of Wall Street and, you know, that information. So you got 20-year-old kids, you know, who are sitting in quarantine, who are doing research and know more about these stocks than the companies that have billions of dollars in them. And, you know, they weren't born in the right place, but they're just as smart and they're taking it to Wall Street. So it's kind of interesting. So anyway, we are, I think that's it for today, right, Dana? Got anything to add?
No, that's it. We're good.
Okay, so be prepared. We're going to have a special announcement on Friday. We're super excited about that. And hope you're enjoying it. And leave us some comments and let us know. We've got a schedule, but we are certainly happy to add and tweak that schedule. So if there's anything that you're dying to hear about, we're all ears. So we'll see you next Tuesday, everybody.
See you, everyone.